Hello and welcome. My name is David Boucher. I'm a Customer Success Manager for EMEA, and today I'm going to walk you through a brief introduction to lab instance sharing and lab instance transfer. I'll describe a few use cases and then how to actually enable it. Now, firstly, what is lab sharing? Well, this is where you allow multiple users to work together in a lab profile at the same time. You can send a secure email to anyone in your organization, and a range of permissions can be assigned so that different people can be working on different aspects of the lab at the same time. The lab still belongs to the original owner though. Now with lab instance transfer, this is where a lab is sent to another lab developer who then works on their own in that active lab instance or after resuming it. It is a form of sequential working where ownership is switched between lab developers as each task is completed, as opposed to working together simultaneously in lab sharing. Now, first example of a use case is where you might be having issues within a virtual machine. You then share it with your technical support team who then come in and troubleshoot the issue for you. Secondly, you might want to use a virtual machine for demo purposes, and you share it with a number of customers who then come in and work with say some software at the same time. Most commonly, it will be for shared lab development, where you're building a lab with a team of developers working together at the same time. Lastly, real-world testing. So this might be an example of an exam where a student has to configure some software. Once they've completed their configuration, they then transfer the lab to an exam proctor to verify or grade the student's work. Now, how to enable lab instance sharing or transfer? Now, firstly, you need to contact your account executive or technical account engineer who will set it up on your organization. Now, you can use sharing or transfer with any type of lab fabric, from standard virtual machines through to code labs and even cloud labs. Now, we do ask you to provide an authentication provider, most commonly Google or Microsoft Azure Active Directory, because when a user receives a link, they are then authenticated using this provider as opposed to logging onto our platform first. There is also an option at the org level to share with anyone, but because this is very powerful, you will need to talk to your account executive or technical account engineer first. Now, this is what it looks like on the org level. So here the options are mentioned. Here you can choose share with anyone or share with an organization. You then select your authentication provider here. You turn on lab instance transfers, and we do recommend that you provide some sort of explanatory text so that when the recipient receives their email, they then know what to do with it. Now, with lab instance sharing, this is the basic process. However, I will walk you through this in a moment, but an important point to note is when lab instance sharing and transfers are enabled at an organization, it is not inherited by child organizations, so those will need to be configured individually as needed. Now, here's a number of screenshots showing the process, but I will switch to an active lab in a moment to actually show you what it looks like. So you click on the hamburger menu, click on share, specify the email address, and it's going to expire. Choose your permissions. Now, this is important because you can have people working simultaneously in the same lab without necessarily tripping over each other. Once you click on share, it'll be indicated and then listed below. And an important point to note is that although you've set an expiry on the lab share, you can come in and delete it at any time, giving you this extra level of control. The user then receives an email with the link within it, and the user then clicks on that link. It will be taken, authenticated, and then presented with, a running lab instance of the same lab. So I now switch to my demo lab that I have here. I'll just show you that same process. So I click on the hamburger menu, click on share. I'll just show you transfer is available here as well, as you can see, but here I'll show you how to share. So firstly, I put in an email address. I'm going to choose my own. Here's the option to choose the expiry, so you can specify a date, but I'm just going to leave it as when the lab ends. I'm going to select edit lab instructions and then share. Okay, it's been shared, it's listed below, and as I mentioned, you can come in and delete at any time. If I now close this and switch to Outlook, Here I've received an email. If I open that up, here's the link. So if I now click on this, I'll be prompted to authenticate. I'll then have to enter the code. Just 2238. And here we are. Now, just to show you the hamburger menu for this, we've got a limit. So all we've got now is the ability to edit instructions. And just to show you that we're working simultaneously, I'll just create a new text document on the desktop. And if I now switch to the running instance, so the main lab, here's the text document. And just to show you, I've got the full range of options in the instructions. Thank you very much for your time and for listening to me walk you through this brief introduction to Lab Instance Sharing and Lab Instance Transfer. Have a very nice day.